Hollywood runs on a simple, yet often flawed principle. If something works once, it'll work again. This is the bedrock of the sequel, the franchise, the cinematic universe that has come to dominate our screens. But how often does that second outing truly capture the magic of the first? More often than not, we walk out of the theater feeling a little underwhelmed, a sense of déjà vu tinged with disappointment. Today, we're diving deep into the law of diminishing returns in Hollywood, exploring why sequels are almost never as good as the original. The primary driver behind the never-ending parade of sequels is, unsurprisingly, money. A successful first film isn't just a creative triumph, it's a proven financial asset. It has a built-in audience, established characters, and a world that viewers are already invested in. From a studio executive's perspective, greenlighting a sequel is far less of a gamble than betting on a completely new, original idea. The marketing is halfway done before a single frame is even shot. The name recognition alone provides a massive head start, practically guaranteeing a strong opening weekend. This financial pressure creates a formulaic approach. Studios want to replicate the success of the first film, so they often demand that the sequel hits the same beats, tells similar jokes, and puts the characters in familiar, albeit slightly escalated situations. This play-it-safe mentality is the enemy of creativity. It leaves little room for the innovation and risk-taking that made the original film so special in the first place. The result is often a movie that feels less like a new chapter and more like a greatest hits album, a rehash of what we've already seen. Another major hurdle is the loss of the lightning in a bottle element. The first film often benefits from a unique combination of factors: a fresh concept, a director with a singular vision, actors who are perfect for their roles, and a script that has been polished and perfected over years. It's the culmination of a long, passionate creative process. By the time a sequel is fast-tracked into production, that original creative team may have moved on, or their passion for the project may have waned. New directors and writers are brought in, who may not have the same deep understanding or love for the characters in the world. The production timeline is often compressed to capitalize on the original's success, leaving less time for development and refinement. The element of surprise is also gone. When we first watched the original, we had no idea what to expect. The world was new, the character arcs were unpredictable, and the plot twists were genuinely shocking. A sequel, by its very nature, can't replicate that experience of discovery. We already know the characters, their powers, their personalities, and the basic rules of their universe. The narrative is now burdened with expectations. It has to both honor the established canon and deliver something new. A tightrope walk that many films fail to navigate successfully. This often leads to what's known as sequelitis, where everything has to be bigger, louder, and more explosive. The stakes are artificially raised, the number of characters multiplies, and the spectacle overshadows the story. The intimate character moments and clever world-building that we loved in the first film get drowned out by a relentless barrage of action sequences and convoluted plot points. The creative spark that ignited the original story often dies under the immense pressure to simply be more than its predecessor, rather than being something genuinely new and heartfelt. Think about the character arcs. In a great original film, the protagonist undergoes a significant, satisfying transformation. They start in one place and end in a completely different one, having learned and grown along the way. A sequel then faces a difficult choice. Does it reset that character development to put them through a similar journey again? Or does it struggle to find a new, equally compelling arc for a character who has already completed their primary journey? Too often, sequels choose the former, cheapening the impact of the original story. We see our heroes making the same mistakes, or relearning the same lessons, which can feel repetitive and frustrating for the audience. The world building also suffers. The first film gets to introduce a fascinating new world, laying down the rules and mysteries that capture our imagination. A sequel has the task of expanding that world, but this can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes the expansion adds wonderful new layers and depth. Other times, it overcomplicates things, adding convoluted lore or retconning established facts in a way that feels clumsy and diminishes the magic of the original. The more you explain the magic, the less magical it becomes. The mystery was part of the appeal, and sometimes it's best to leave some things to the imagination. However, it would be unfair to say that all sequels are doomed to fail. There are rare, shining exceptions where the second film managed to surpass the original, proving that it can be done. These successful sequels almost always share a few key traits. They respect the original while daring to be different. They take the characters and the world in a new, unexpected direction. They often adopt a darker, more mature tone, challenging the characters in ways the first film didn't. They use the foundation of the first movie not as a blueprint to be copied, but as a launchpad for a deeper, more complex story. These films understand that a good sequel isn't about giving the audience more of the same. It's about evolving the story. They raise the emotional stakes, not just the explosive ones. They prioritize character development and thematic depth over simply escalating the scale of the conflict. The filmmakers have a genuine new story to tell, not just a contractual obligation to fulfill. These gems prove that a sequel can be a work of art in its own right, a meaningful continuation that enriches our understanding and appreciation of the entire saga. But these are the exceptions that prove the rule. The very structure of the Hollywood machine, with its focus on quarterly earnings and risk-averse decision-making, stacks the deck against creative, innovative sequels. The pressure to replicate a financial success often stifles the very creativity that made the original film a hit in the first place. So the next time you feel a twinge of disappointment walking out of a long-awaited sequel, remember the immense challenges it faced from the very beginning. It's a battle against financial pressure, audience expectations, and the simple, inescapable fact that you can't capture lightning in a bottle twice. If you enjoyed this breakdown of why sequels often miss the mark, make sure to subscribe to Movies Recap Repo for more deep dives into the world of cinema. We're always exploring the stories behind the stories.